Yeah, so I just wanted to show you how to practice on the Pearson View site with regards to your CBT, both the part A and then the part B. So you just come to Google search. Just all you need to type is Pearson View, and then the first one that comes up, which is home.pearsonview.com. Just gonna tap on that. So this is the page that is going to bring you, right? All you just need to do is to type in NMC, and of course it will bring up NMC. This is NMC UK. So when you tap on it this way, or when you click it, it's going to bring you to this particular page. Alright, so if you want to log in with the Pearson View logins that they sent to you, just click on sign in, and here you can see your CBT, where you booked it, your center, and all those details. That's why I used to book for the CBT. But then if you want to practice, you see this is practice test for the test of competence 2021. All you need to do is to click on it, and then of course you're going to scroll down again. Now when you come here, there are various categories of nursing in the UK. Nursing, the first one is nursing associate, but what you'll be looking for is nursing practice, adult nurse, because that's what you registered for. Adult nurse part A. So this is the part A we're talking about, the numeracy. There are about 3 of them here, which you can practice all of them. So 1, 2, 3, they are all numeracy. And then this is the part B, the theory aspect, which is supposed to be 100 questions, and this is 15 questions. You need 14 out of this. So I'm just going to do a demonstration of how to go about with the part A. So I'll click on the first one, which is numeracy part A, and this one, as I said, the instructions are here. All these, for example, the correct answer to a question is 5 mil. So you can see 5, you leave space, and then small m, capital L. If you write any of these, it's wrong. But let's go into the exams itself. So these are basically like instructions. So if you are okay with it, you come to next. There's next at the corner here, right hand down corner. You click on it, and it will ask you if you are ready to begin the exams. Click yes. So basically this is how it looks like. So question 1, what is the volume that has been drawn up into the syringe? Please use the correct unit and write your answer to 1 decimal place. So when you come here, basically you just look at it. This is 6, and then we have another sign in the middle, and then we have 7, we have 8. So when you look at it, basically it is, we have 0 here, we have 0.5, then 1, 1.52, 2.53, 3.54, 4.5, in that order. So when you come here, basically this is what in between 7 and 6, so that's 6.5. And mostly you have to read the question very well. Please write the correct unit and write your answer to 1 decimal place. So 1 decimal place is maybe 1.2. That's 1 decimal place. 1.3. If you write 1.23, that is 2 decimal places. Tiahani is 6.5. So all we need to do is to put 6.5, and it says we should put the correct SI unit, right? In Tiahana, as I said, you leave a space into the ball space bar also. Then you have a small letter and then capital L. That is how they write mils in the UK, or per the UK NMC. Until when your answer anywhere, so 6.5, you leave a space, small m, capital L, and then you go to the next question. When you come here, they are asking you, they are very, very simple questions. So basically they are asking you about the quantity, which I have number 5, 10, 15, 20, it's exactly on the 20 mark. And they are saying we should put the correct unit. Always read the question in full. You know, your name say 20. So how do we write the mil? So we leave space, we are going to type small m and then capital L, and then we'll go on. So when we come here, patient has been prescribed 2 liters of 0.9% of sodium chloride. What is the volume in mils? So how many mils make a liter? 1000. Alright, so if it is 2 liters, so basically it's going to be what? 2000, because you just multiply 2000 by what? 2. And now here the sign or the SI unit is already there, so there's no need for you to type ml here again. So basically that is it. You move forward. So when we come here, patient has been prescribed 0.6 grams of brufen. What is a dose in milligram? The same thing, 1000 milligrams makes 1 gram. So if this is 6, you multiply it by what? 1000. And this to I didn't tell you there's a calculator here you can use. So basically you can type in 0.6 times 1000, then multiply. That will give us 600. On the exams day, once you click here, the calculator will come out, right? And here the unit is already given, so just leave it at 600 and then we'll go to next. When we come here, patient has been prescribed 300 milligrams of phenytoin. How many tablets should be administered? So the patient has been prescribed 300, and then we have 100, the one that is provided, it comes in 100 milligram tablet. So basically you're going to have what? 3. Alright, so you have 3. So what it means is that the patient is going to take 3 tablets, and each of them is 100 milligrams. So 100 milligrams times 3 will give you the 300. And here the tablet is already written there, so there's no need for you to repeat it. So we just go to next. The next question, and you can see we've done 6 out of 15, and it's 30 minutes. So the timer too is here, and it will be reading as you go along. So a patient has been prescribed 1 gram of carbocysteine solution. What should be administered? Please use the correct unit. Anytime they say please use the correct unit, you just know that a unit is going to be attached. Right? So here, basically, the medication comes in 200 milligrams in 5 ml, and then they say you should give what? 1 gram. 1 gram has been prescribed. So first of all, look at it. It's in grams here, it's in milligrams. So what you need to do is to convert this to milligrams. Alright, and 1000 milligrams will give you 1 gram. So basically, if you are converting this to milligrams, that will be what? 1000 milligrams. So if 200 is to 5, then what will 1000 milligram will be equal to? So just cross multiplication. So you put 1000 here is equal to x. Alright, so you multiply x by 200 and then 1000 by this. So all you have to, the simple way of doing it is multiply 1000 by 5 and divide it by this. So if you multiply 1000 by 5, you are going to get what? 5000. Then you now divide it by what? 200. Then you have what? 25 mils. So you are now going to give 25. You leave space, type small letter, capital letter, and then you go. The same thing here. A patient has been prescribed 100 milligrams of phenytoin suspension. What volume should be administered? Right. So you multiply the 100 by the 5, and you divide it by this. When you multiply 100 by 5, you get what? 500. So now you're going to multiply the 100 by the 5. It's already in milligrams, so there's no need for you to convert it again. So by what? You're multiplying by 5 to give you 500. Now you divide it by what? 250. Always make use of a calculator, and that will give you what? 2. So what it means is that the patient is going to take 2 mils. You leave space, small letter and then capital letter, and go your way. So we are on question 8. The patient has been prescribed levetiracetam suspension at a dose of 10 milligrams per kilogram, and then the patient weighs 70. Alright, 10 per kilogram, the patient weighs 70. So what are you supposed to do? You are first supposed to multiply the 70 by 10, or that's the patient's weight. So 70 by 10, we're going to get 700. So that will give us 700 milligrams, and it came in 100 milligram per mil. So you multiply the 700 by the 1 mil and you divide it by this. When you multiply 700 by 1, you're still going to get 700, and then you divide it by 100. Then you're going to get what? 7 mils. So 7 small m, capital L. always make sure you have the right one. Capital L. Great. Then we go on. So the next question is: a patient has been prescribed 60 milligrams of flupentazole deconate. What volume should be drawn up in the injection? And then here 60 milligram, but it comes in 20 mils in 1 mil. So you multiply the 60 by 1 mil and divide it by what? 20 milligrams. Right? Make use of a calculator. So 60 times 1 mil will still be 60. Then we divide it by what? 20. We are going to get 3 mil. So 3, leave a space. We type our small m and then our capital L. And then go on. So we've done 10 questions within 10 minutes. So basically we're using 1 minute for one question. Alright. So when we come here, patient has been prescribed 4 milligrams of diamorphine hydrochloride. What volume should be drawn? Please use the correct unit and write your answer to 1 decimal place. I said always read the question to the end, because they always add some instructions. So you're going to multiply 4 by what? 1 mil, and then you divide it by 5. 4 by 1 is still 4. Then if you divide 4 by 5, so we're going to get 0.8 to 1 decimal place. That's 1 decimal place, 0.8. So you are going to have a 0.8 space small m capital L, and then we move on. We are now going to question number 11. A patient has been prescribed hydrochloride dose of 0.5 milligrams per kilogram. Anytime you see this, be very careful, because they will always give you the weight, and 0.5 per kilogram. So if that is the case and the person weighs 90, you multiply the 0.5 by what? 90 to get the mils, the amount in mils. So 90 divided by 0.5, that's going to give us 45. So multiply the 45 milligrams by 1 and we divide by what? 50. So 45 multiplied by 1 is still 45. Then we are going to now divide it by 50, which will give us 0.9, and they said to 1 decimal place. So that's 0.9, leave a space, small m, capital L. And then we move on. Yes, so basically this is also another type of question that you meet. They say that what rate would you set the infusion pump? So this is the infusion IV sodium chloride, and the volume is 400, and it's supposed to last 5 hours. So at what rate? So you just divide the 400 by what? 5. So if you divide 400 divide by 5, you have 80, and already mil per hour is written, so there's no need for you to write a mil per hour again. Let's move on. The same thing, 5% glucose is an IV infusion, and then it's 1000 mils, so mil per hour. So you just divide it by what? 6 hours. So if you have 1000 divided by 6, go to 166.666. But as I said, always read the question to the end. They say give your answer to the nearest whole number. Alright, so we will come here, the number before the point, then you go beyond it. If it is more than 5, convert it to 1 and add it to it. And here it is 6, so it's more than 5. So when we convert and add it to it, that will be 167, because it says the nearest what? Whole number. So 167. Then we'll go to next. And then another question, a whole blood and it's 800 mils is supposed to last for 5 hours. So how many per hour? This already in hours, so 800 divided by what? 5. So we have 800, then we divide it by 5, which is 160. So 160 mils is supposed to be delivered per hour. So we just go to next. Yes, I suppose this is the last question. This is input and output. This particular question, I was here very careful, because you are supposed to balance it. and you're supposed to write. So if you look at it, I want to read the instruction first. If the patient has gained fluid, add plus, just like we do in Ghana. And so example is plus 100. If the patient has lost fluid, you put minus. Okay, that's the final answer. But when you come here, you can see this is input, right? All these numbers are input, and then all this is output. And there's a column for what? Input. There's a column for output, and then the answer, the final answer that you get. So what we are going to do is we are going to add all the inputs, and then we'll add all the outputs, and then at the end we are going to subtract what went in and then what came out. So now let's start to calculate. So we have 100 plus 100, that's what? 200, right? Then we have 150 plus 150, that's 300. So 150 plus 150, 300, 100 plus 100, 200. So we are now going to have 200 plus 300, that's what? 500. Now let's come here. So plus the first 125, 125, plus the second 125, 125, plus the third 125, plus the fourth 125, plus the fifth 125, plus the sixth 125. So in total we have 1250. So that will be 1250. And here, as I said, be very careful. You always have to add the units. Till you just leave a space, small m, capital L. That is what? The total input. Now let's go to the total output. Total output, I'm going to clear my calculator. We have 140. So 140. Then plus we have what? 180. Then we have plus 200. Then we have plus 310, I suppose, plus 80. So that's 910 mils. So 910. But just to be sure of it, just to be sure of it, I want to go through it again. You always have to, because this place, when you miss one, that's all. So I'm going to start with 140 again, plus 180, plus 200, plus 310, plus 80, and that's still 110. So 910, I leave a space, I type my small m and then capital L, and I'll now come and balance it. The balancing is basically subtracting this one from this one, and if obviously the input is more than the output, so it's going to be plus, right? So 1250 minus 910, which is 340. But because it was more, then we are going to start with what? Plus 340. Then we'll leave a space, we'll type our small m and then capital L. Here you have to be careful, very careful. Some people are always fond of this, is where most people get the question wrong. I don't know, if you don't add the mils to the input and output, it will be wrong. And then when you are done, and then you have output exceeding input, is negative. But if in this case where the input exceeds the output, then it's what? Plus. And then you now go to next. So we are done. And as you can see, 0 incorrect, 15 correct. Assuming we had one of these wrong, let me go back and then just change something here. I won't add the mil, and then you see something. If I don't add the mil and then I go like this, it's going to tell me incorrect. Alright, incorrect, because I did not add the mil. Alright, so always remember to add the mil, and your answer is going to be correct. So this is how it looks like. So when you are done, you can always preview it, and whilst you are doing the question, for example, Question 1. I am not too sure of the answer and I want to come back to it. So if you want to come back, you can do what we call flag. When you flag it at the end, it's going to, and then you come to the preview, it will show flag here. What it means is that you can go back to, you were not sure of it, so you can click it and go back to it, and then you input your answer. So basically that is the paper 1, the numeracy. I've just sent you through, I've made from up to the end now. They are not providing answers for you as somebody told you. Right? They are not providing any answers for you as somebody told you. You are going to put in your answer, and it's as simple as this. So basically when you are done, you just go to end, and then you are done with it like that. So as I said, this is one of them. There are 3 of them. Okay, there are 3 of them. As I said, there are 3 of them. So you can always go back. You just type in NMC, and then it will always send you back. It will send you back to it. So when you come here, test of competence, and then you just come adultness. So it is the part A we did. This is another part A. This is another part A. You can also practice with that of children, that of mental health. The part A is the same for all of them. It's the same for all of them. So you can always practice with any of them. But this is also the part B. So let me open the part B and show you how it looks like. Part B, those ones, they will give you options. Okay. So when you come here, this is instruction. So you just come to next, and then you go to yes. So these are the questions. You have 75 minutes, but in the real exams it's not 50 questions, it's 100 questions. Okay, 100. So which of the following describe a quantitative method of research? Quantitative, you are looking at numbers, so collection of numerical data. You just go to next, then choose the themes for NMC code of conduct. Right, so you prioritize people, you practice effective, you preserve safety, you promote professionalism and trust. That's the code of conduct for NMC. Go to next, and basically that is it. All right, that is it. And if you need a calculator, you can always come. If any question requires calculation, you can always come. Yeah, so basically this is how you practice. This is how you practice with your CBT. If you're an adultness, that's how you practice with what? Your CBT. If there are any questions you want me to address, you can send me a WhatsApp message and I'll address that. Yeah, so until that, adios, bye.